it's Kendra, and today I'm going to be doing a favorites video for the month of January in 2017. This is going to be my first favorites video. Here we go. So the first thing that I have is a primer, and this is the NYX Hydra Primer. And as you can see, I've already gone through quite a bit of product. I've been squeezing it out. And I have really dry skin, so I've really been trying with the cold weather to focus on hydrating my skin before I apply any makeup. And this is definitely the first primer that I found by NYX that doesn't leave a greasy feeling to my skin. And I've really been liking it. The smell is kind of similar to the Nivea Men post-shave balm that I know a lot of people use for a primer, myself included at times. So it kind of smells like cologne, but it definitely leaves my skin feeling hydrated and totally set for makeup. And it doesn't leave that greasiness that kind of makes your foundation look patchy or uneven. Highly recommend this. The next makeup product I have is a lipstick, and this is the Jeffree Star Velour Liquid Lipstick in the shade Androgyny. And I actually did a swatch slash haul slash first impressions video on a ton of Jeffree Star products. I'll link that down below. And out of all the products that I ordered, this is definitely my favorite. I love this shade so much. The only bad thing I can say about it is that I really hate the smell, but I know that's a kind of a common complaint with these. But I've had these now for like 2.5 weeks, and I have worn this like every other day. I've been reaching for this one. It's just a good like staple mauve-y nude, I guess I could say. It's not too dramatic, so I wear it to work a lot, and it really stays on all day long. The next product I have is the RCMA No Color Powder, and I know this has been huge on YouTube. I wanted to get it for the longest time, but I don't know, I'm always like hesitant to get products that like I can't physically see and touch in a store. I finally had to buy this just because so many people were recommending it. I've really been into baking my under eyes lately if I want to do like that full flawless face. And because I have such dry skin, I've really been looking for a powder that isn't going to make me look totally ashy and disgusting. And I know Jaclyn Hills has similar skin to me, so I know she swears by this. And I actually ended up buying 2 of them because I was rolling the dice and I just figured I was gonna like it. And I have been using this every single day. I love it so much. I think it's very silky, it's very light. I really don't need as much as I would with my previous loose setting powders. The only complaint, which I feel is everyone's complaint, is why did they put it in like a spice container? Like, ugh, come on. I'm thinking of buying a container and like a little jar or something and just keeping this powder in there because I feel like I'm wasting a lot of product. But moving along, the next product I have is the Fake Away stick from Tarte, and this is a sort of pinky light nude, almost like an eyeliner stick. The packaging really reminds me of the Maybelline Define-A-Line, which was like the only eyeliner I used in high school, and I would use it just to line my waterline, which is crazy. But it just has the stick on one end and then a rubber or a silicone smudger on the other end, and it's used to highlight underneath your brow or maybe in the inner corner, but I really like using it on my waterline because I feel like it really opens up my eyes. And I've used a plain white stick in the past, but it always kind of makes me look artificial and like, you know, sometimes if you have like a white liner on your waterline, it just doesn't look right. I know the effect you're trying to give is like a bigger eye, but this looks a lot more natural and I really like it. The next product that I have is the Mary Lumanizer from the Balm. This has been my go-to highlighter for more than a month now. It's a beautiful, really neutral, not so shimmery highlighter that I feel like could go for a lot of different skin tones. This is something that I really like to use when I want just a little bit of a natural shine and not like a glow. It comes in a pretty generous sized packaging for a highlighter, 0.3 ounces. I really can't say anything bad about this. It gets the job done. The next product that I have is one of these Stila Magnificent Metal Eyes, and this is in the shade Kitten, and I would define it as a gold and not necessarily a rose gold, but it doesn't have that bronzy tint to it. I've been using it a lot on my lower lash line and in my inner corner because it's so light, and I feel like it can go with a lot of different colors. I've used this with brown smoky eyes and, you know, something like pinky eyes, and anything like neutral shades, I can really dip into this. And you can see I've already put quite the dent in it, and you really don't need much with this because they come with like a little mixing tray and this itty bitty teeny tiny little eyedropper of primer. And you're supposed to like spoon out just a little bit of the product into the tray and then put like a couple of drops of this primer in here and mix it. And I find that you only really need just a little tiny bit, and you can, you know, spread it out to look like a really opaque eyeliner, or if you want to go a little bit heavier to do like that really like jewel pop. You do a lot with these things. So the next thing that I have for my favorites would have to be the Tarteist Pro Palette by Tarte. I've been dipping into this a lot for my everyday eyes, but I recently made this look with it, which is a little bit more dramatic. I used the only really jewelry blue shade in here, which is this one, all over my lid, and I used some of the darker matte shades in my crease and underneath my lower lash line. So you can see it's just gorgeous. All mattes on this side, 4 gorgeous shimmer shadows, and they really can be used anyway. There's no way you can go wrong on this palette. I haven't found a combination that doesn't look amazing. They're super pigmented. I know that there's been a lot of negative reviews. I don't know if a lot of people are getting duds, but I'm having no problem blending these out. I'm having no problem with the pigmentation. So this has really been my go-to palette for at least 3 weeks now. Moving on to tools. So I have 2 brushes that I bought like the day after Christmas that I've been using almost every single day. The first one is the Sephora Pro Featherweight Blending Brush. This just looks like a giant Q-tip, really. Huge, fluffy end, really flexible, no shedding, and I've been using it for highlighting. I can even use it for contouring. I've been using it to highlight on top of my cheekbones. It has been really like the best brush for blending. I feel like when I use a lot of smaller highlighter brushes, they just kind of like pack in the highlighter, and this really like gives that airbrush like sheen. And I think I've used this in almost every single one of the tutorials that I've done this month. The next brush I have is the Sephora Pro Tightline Liner. I always see this one and I'm like, that's a lot of money for like, you get like nothing with that. And I finally got it because I got a gift certificate to Sephora. Okay, it's not my money. I'm gonna splurge on the tiny little brush. I know this is meant for your tight line in your eyes, but I've been using this for my brows to really get a sharp tail when I want like a really sharp brow. It is the most precise brush I have ever come across, and I love it. And for my last bunch of things, I have skincare. So the first thing I have is by Clinique, and this is the Take the Day Off Balm. And I think I've used this every single day, 40 days in a row now. Love it. And I already know that I'm going to repurchase it again and again and again. I know that it's been all over social media and that a ton of people use these in their videos, but it is the best way to take your makeup off. I used makeup wipes for years, and I felt like I was always wasting my money buying makeup wipes. Like every time I'd have to go to the store, oh, I need makeup wipes, oh, I need makeup wipes, and they'd be filling up my trash can and they'd be everywhere. I tried using liquid makeup remover and I felt like it was just drying out my skin and taking every little bit of moisture out of it, but this is a greasy, greasy balm. It's like rubbing like Carmex on your face. All of my makeup just like melts off. Then I'll take one makeup wipe and I'll just wipe it off. I love it. I love how it feels. My skin does not feel dry. The next thing I have is an empty container, which I saved because I knew I wanted it for this video. And this is a hyaluronic acid serum. And this is by Reviva Labs, Professional Strength. And it is labeled to gain and retain skin moisture. But it's a serum that I got at Ulta. It was pretty cheap considering how expensive serums can get. I brought it home and I put it on my face and I'm like, that was just water. I just bought a $18 bottle of water, and it is only 1 fluid ounce, so I felt like a fool, and it immediately went into my skin. I'm like, it's gone, and I don't feel any different. But the next morning I woke up and I was like, huh, my face isn't so tight. That's pretty good. So I thought, okay, I'll start doing it, you know, in the morning and then at night and see what happens. And I was like, oh yeah, my skin feels fine. I wasn't really thinking much about it because I was sick at the time, so I was on a lot of antibiotics and steroids, so I knew my skin was already clearing up and it was feeling better. But then I noticed a couple of days when I forgot to put this on my face, my skin would feel really tight, and I'm like, aha, this is immediately disappearing on my face because it's going right into my pores. It's doing its job. None of it's getting wasted. It's not sitting on the skin and then evaporating. So I already went through the entire bottle, and I ordered 2 more online because it's been doing wonders for my face. I love it. The last thing I have is also another Clinique product, and this is the Clinique Dramatically Different Moisturizing Lotion. I have the same thing, the Dramatically Different Cream, and I've used it on my face in the past, and I wasn't a huge fan of it, but this has done wonders for my hands and my neck. So I'm really prone to eczema, and I'm always trying to find things to put on my hands and on my neck because those are some of my hot spots. And something that's unscented that immediately absorbs into the skin so that I don't have to worry about it, and this has been it. I love it. I've already gone through half of it in a month. Okay, so I guess that's all I really have today. I hope that maybe somebody was intrigued by some of the products. Maybe they want to try them for themselves, but all of these things I highly recommend. So thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye. Swears by this. I just went all over myself. Oh, why did I do that?